Hi everyone, Jared here, back with another Shop Shorts video. And today we're going to talk about grease couplers. Now, in order to do that, I want to start off and back up a little bit, and we're going to discuss my progression of grease guns and what has led me to this point. So I first started off with what most people recognize as a standard grease gun. This is a standard lever action grease gun with a Standler grease coupler on the end. These things have been around forever. We know they work, but they have some limitations and they can cause a lot of frustration. If you have a grease zerk that is being very difficult and does not like to accept grease, it's very hard to hold the coupler on the zerk while also pumping this and applying grease to the zerk. So what you end up doing is you end up either propping this on the ground, up against your body, something like that, to try to actuate this with one arm while you're holding this on the zerk, because if you don't, that either pops off or you see the grease come out around the coupler and around the zerk. After being frustrated with this, I decided to go with a pistol grip. So this operates on the exact same principle as a lever action. It is still a manual grease gun, but it has a pistol grip instead. So this would now allow me to use this one-handed while the other hand is holding the grease coupler onto the zerk. And this worked a lot better and alleviated some of the frustrations with this. But when I was dealing with items such as mower spindles, things that required quite a few pumps of grease to get them greased, I would flat out be wore out. My hand would be cramped and it would be hurting by the time I got done. So I picked up a cordless grease gun. This is a Milwaukee M12. I actually picked it up at an auction and I've been very happy with it. They also make an M18, which I do plan on getting in the near future, that offers some extra benefits, including 2 different pressure settings and number of pumps, stuff like that. But regardless, even the M12 is phenomenal. And what I really like about this is if I am pumping up something like a spindle requires quite a few pumps, it is nothing more than the squeeze of the trigger as opposed to sitting there and having to squeeze the grease gun handles itself over and over and over and over. Even once I had upgraded to this, I still had one more frustration that I wanted to overcome. And that is the fact of grease couplers not wanting to stay on the zerk. And that could be for one of a couple reasons. Usually it's due to the fact that the zerk is just being very stubborn about taking grease. Or it could be the path inside, whether it be a loader pin, whatever's on the other side of the zerk may not be wanting to take grease, and it will fight you and try to push itself off. A grease zerk could also be in a very difficult location to get to. Maybe it's awkward and you have to reach up and under something and put the coupler on there and then grease it. And it's hard to maintain that pressure while you're applying grease. So I decided to upgrade to what is called the Lock-n-Lube Coupler. Now this Lock-n-Lube Coupler, I absolutely love. If you've watched any of my tractor videos, you will notice that I use this while greasing tractor, my implements, everything. I've had this for a little while now and I've been kind of stalling, waiting to make sure I really liked it before I put out a video on it. Now what this Lock-n-Lube Coupler does is it has a set of 4 fingers here at the end that when you depress this, it draws this collar back and lets these fingers spread open. When you let go, the collar slides forward and locks the fingers and locks it onto that grease zerk. If you slip this onto a grease zerk, and normally I just give it a little wiggle that lets the collar slide forward, make sure the fingers are engaged, this guy is not coming off of that grease zerk. And that means when you squeeze the trigger, grease is going to go in that zerk. Unless it's just flat out, frozen solid and the gun cannot overcome that pressure. Otherwise, it is going in that zerk. So I love this. The only issue I've had with this so far is because this is not symmetrical all the way around like a regular round coupler would be, and I'm fighting a whip hose, this trigger may not be in the exact place that I want it to be, depending upon where I'm standing, where I have the gun, and where the grease zerk is on the machine. So I am now going to add a swivel to this. Lock-n-Lube also makes a grease swivel, which I think will be super handy to be able to pivot this wherever I want without having to fight the hose, but not lose the functionality of my Lock-n-Lube. So we're going to grab a couple wrenches, spin this off, install the swivel, and then we'll finish discussing this. So this is the swivel, and I will leave a link to this and the LocknLube coupler itself down in the description. So just scroll down below the video a little bit, and you'll probably have to hit the down arrow that's on the right hand side of your screen to break open the description. But down there you will find the link for the swivel and the Lock-n-Lube. So let's open this up and figure out what size wrenches we need for this guy. Done. Well, that is incredibly smooth and even looser than I thought it would be. So let's walk outside and clean off a couple zerks on the loader, and let's pump some grease. So I always start by wiping off my grease zerk so I don't pump any dirt in. Oh man, this swivel's nice. Squeeze the lever back, put it on. Like I said, I usually wiggle it. That way the collar will slide forward, and then apply your grease. That's it. Nothing coming out there, nothing coming out around this joint. Even that swivel is sealed up. Beautiful, I love it. Now before we wrap up, I'd like to let you know that at the end of the video, I provide links to playlists. Specifically, if you are interested in these short videos, these shop shorts, one of those playlists is just for shop shorts. And there's going to be other playlists like all shop videos and stuff like that. But at the end of all of these videos are links to the playlist so you can watch other videos that are just like this. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up and like the video. Also, subscribe and then hit the bell notification to be notified of upcoming videos. And as always, have a great rest of your day.